months you are all meeting once again. So now the winter, the chill slowly going away, fading away. Once again we have taken up the great book, the Bhagavad Gita, and we will study that once again. And this time we will start from the chapter 8. So let us start. Let us begin from that sloka. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Amrita Varshini Bhagavati Ashtadashaadhyayini Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadeshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charno Ramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Now, Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. So, it's a very simple Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, that Swayam, the himself, Narayana, the one who was born on the Nara. Nara means the water. That means the Vishnu. Narayana is the Vishnu, another name of the Lord Vishnu. Swayam himself. But here we don't find the Vishnu. We see the Krishna. So the Krishna is giving the advices to Arjuna, but Krishna in reality is Vishnu. So Narayanena Swayam, to whom he is giving to Partha, and that has been recorded by the Vyasa, Vyasena Gratitam.
going to get from you. And then it says, Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsha Charnuramardanam. It's a personal God, again it comes. The personal God, who is that? The son of Vasudeva, and that is Krishna. That Krishna, he is with form, but actually without form, and that is the knowledge we are going to get from the chapter 8. Let us begin from there. So, you will chant from the chapter 8, a few sloka, and then you will explain. This is called Akshara Brahma Yoga. Akshara Brahma Yoga. The Brahma, Akshara, it has no decay. It never changes. The moment you say Brahma, that is sufficient. But now it says Akshara Brahma to mention in this way that it never changes. Friends, we know the moment we try to understand something changing, that means there must be something unchanging. Comparing with that, we can understand that thing is changing. So similarly here, the whole universe, this whole world, this whole phenomena, constantly changing. Just like a flow of water in the river. If you take a little water, the next moment you take the same from the same river, but not the same water. It is a different water. So like that, the life is constantly changing. But who is observing the change? They say it is Brahman. And this Brahman is Akshara. Akshara means never changes, never decayed, never died. So this way it goes. Here in the Bhagavad Gita, it began with that word. If you can remember in the second chapter, Sri Krishna said, Nahanyate. He mentioned Nahanyate. It never dies. You cannot kill it. What is that? That unchangeable one. So different way, using the different terminology, different language, different way of expression. So same thing they will be telling, Akshara Brahma Yoga. Now Arjuna, he is asking some question. Let us chant. Arjuna Uvacha Kim Tad Brahma Kimadhyatmam Kim Karma Purushottama Adhibhutam Chakim Proktam Adhidaivam Kimuchyate Adhiyagya Katham Kotra Deheshmin Madhusudana Prayanakale Chakatham Giyasi Niyatatmavi. The last chapter which we studied and then we suspended the classes, that was the 7th chapter. You must be remembering the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and there all these words that Krishna was telling. And here we find in the 7th chapter, Bhagavan going on telling that I am going to do this, I am going to do that. Those men of virtuous deeds whose sins have come to an end, they, freed from the delusion of the pairs of opposite. They, the way they say it is a little different. The pairs of opposite. That means sukha and dukkha. The pleasure and pain. The pairs of opposite. The jivana, marana. The life and the death. Pairs of opposite. They, those people who have come over that, how? By giving away all their sins. And that way they become pure. virtuous deeds. Through their virtuous deeds, whose sin has come to an end. Here the word sin has been used. Usually in the Hindu, the scripture, we don't find the word sin. In the Veda, that word sin is not there. Why the sin is not there? Because the sin means the wrong knowledge. It is not that the sin in the conception of the Christianity, the sin means the wrong knowledge. What is that wrong knowledge? I am thinking that I am weak, I am a human being, I am a male, and I am born in America. All these things I am going on imposing myself. Wrong. And that is called sin. And that is the reason we are away from God. And because we are away from God, we are constantly having fear. Fear of losing, fear of death, fear of everything. But in reality, we are everywhere. And that is the conception of the Vedanta, that you are not this body, not this mind, not this personality that you are thinking. You are in reality all-pervading Atman. So Krishna again and again going on telling this, and he said in the 26th verse of the 7th chapter, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna. I know the beings of the whole past, the present and the future. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. I know the past, present and future, what is going to happen. We have already discussed that. The God is all-knowing. If He is not, then He is not God. In the Bhagavata again, and also in the Puranas, they say, what is God? And there they are giving the description that God must be having this quality. Otherwise we cannot call Him as God. There's sometimes someone, the devotees, they call their gurus as Bhagavan. Bhagavan Rajanish, Bhagavan this, Bhagavan, so many names are coming. This Bhagavan, the word when you use, we have to understand that it is not just we can say Bhagavan. He must be having some qualities. So what is that quality? The first quality is he must know the past, present and future of every being. What is going to happen and what not. So that is the way we have to understand. And he said in the 26th verse in the 7th chapter, I knew, but nobody knows me. And he was telling that some people, they don't get me, they realize me. But before their death, as because they are remembering me, they get what they want. At the time of death, whatever the thought will be in the mind, that they will get. And that is also me, whatever you see, is that God is everything. But they won't go beyond the circle of this birth and death. That is what he was telling in the 7th chapter. And we find over here, he is using these words too. Abhyaktam Vyaktimapanyam Mandante Mama Buddhaya Param Bhabam Ajananta Mamavaya Anuttamam. Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogo Maya Samabhita Mudoham Na Vijanati Lokumam Ajamabhayam. So this way he is going on telling about him. You won't be able to know me. Who is this me? Now there are two things. One, God with form, God without form. The God with form, that is Krishna. And if you think the God with form and you like to understand him, the Krishna, without understanding the real aspect of the God, but what happens? You also once again go back to the circle of birth and death. Because you wanted that. Some of the devotees, they prayed to Krishna, no, we don't want liberation. We don't want to go beyond the circle of birth, and that we like to come again and again. And we like to be with you. That is a devotee's desire, and he will get that. The God, he is telling he will, but if you understand my real nature, what is the real nature? That Arjuna is asking, Kim tat Brahma? What is that Brahma that you are mentioning? The Brahma means Vistareti Brahma. Everywhere present, that is Brahman. What is present everywhere? It cannot be a figure. The moment you say it is a figure, the name and form is limited. It cannot be the infinite. So what is that infinite? They have given the name Brahman, Paramatman, Atman, Shakshi. So many in different words they have used to say that. It is all pervading. What is that all pervasiveness? What is that? Consciousness. It is conscious everywhere. Everywhere it is present. So this we have to keep in mind, and slowly we will make the progress. We cannot feel consciousness in this telephone. We cannot feel consciousness in the table. We cannot feel consciousness anywhere. That's why some people, they say that it is good to take the fruits and plucking the flowers or boiling the vegetables because they are unconscious. Are they? So this is because we cannot see their suffering directly with these eyes. But the scientists, they know. With the apparatus, with the machine, they can find out that that is also afraid. When a person is going to pluck a fruit, the tree is not happy. So that is also there. But if you go and see that they are slaughtering a goat, oh my God, then you will say, no, that is terrible. So this is because of the ignorance. Everything is going on in this world according to the karma. What is that karma? You wanted that. So this is a very, very special type of thing that we have to keep in mind. So instead, let us understand the truth of it. What is the truth? Brahman, consciousness everywhere. And Arjuna asking, what is that Brahman that you are mentioning? Krishna will be in great difficulty because Brahman cannot be said. So we will see how Krishna is answering. Brahman cannot be expressed through words or through anything. So Kim Tad Brahma, Kim Adhyatmam. You are talking about the Adhyatma. What is that Adhyatma? What is Brahman? And what is that Adhyatma? And what is that Karma? Kim Karma? Purushottama. When you say Purusha Uttama, what is that Purusha? Here we find that Purushottama, it goes to the, he is everywhere residing. Everywhere residing. That is why he is Uttama Purusha. Uttama means the best. Our soul, it is within me only I feel like that. I don't think that my soul is with you. Do I? But it is the same soul. We don't feel. That's why these separations. And when I am associated with someone whom I say, my kith and kin, my dear one, and when I see that he or she is suffering, I also suffer. Physically, I am not suffering. They are completely different person suffering somewhere. But I too suffer. Why? Association. And when I associate, I don't think that it is separate. I feel the same pangs, same pains in me. The mothers, they suffer for the children. The parents, they suffer for the children. The children is suffering. The parents are also suffering. They are crying. Why this? But when I am looking at that, I don't suffer. Why? This is very special thing. I am telling that I belong to everything. But at the same time, I am separate. How it is possible? We will be getting all those answers over here. The separation and the attachment. So we will come to that. So what is that Brahman? He is asking, Kim Tat Brahma? And what is that Adhyatma? What is Karma? And what is called Adidaiva and what is that? Kim Tat Brahma, Adhibhutam and Adidaivam. Sorry. Adhibhutam and Adidaivam. What is that Adhibhuta and Adidaiva? He is asking over here, and then continuing in the second, Adhiyagya Katham Kotra. Dehismin Madhusudana. First he is addressing him Purushottama. Next he is addressing him as Madhusudana. Prayana Kale cha Katham. At the time of death, Giyosi Niyotatmavi. And how do you know at the time of death? By the self-control. So this is the fourth question he is asking. Who and in what way the Adhiyagya in this body, and how art thou know at the time of death? By the self-controlled one. The self-controlled one is knowing you at the time of the death. How it is possible? So he is giving the answer. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhava Adhyatma Uchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakara Visarga Karma Sangitaha. Here, let us get the meaning of this. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Krishna is not going to explain about the Brahman. He said that which never changes is Brahman. Why? Because there is no other way to explain Brahman. Only thing we can say that this is not Brahman because it is changing. Anything that never changes is Brahman. Now, that is the yardstick. So, if we are searching Brahman, naturally we will see whether it is changing or not changing. Sometimes some things are changing very quickly, but sometimes some things are not changing quickly, but it is changing, like Himalaya, like the mountain. They don't die like us so quickly. My great-great-great-grandfather also was seeing the Himalaya, that mountain, or they saw the ocean, they saw the same sun, they saw the same moon. But scientists even they are telling the sun is going to end someday. Slowly there will be no sun, there will be no moon, there won't be anything in this world. Everything will be destroyed. It will take some time. That means, according to our measurement, it is also changing. Maybe that it is not dying quickly. Some of the insects, they born only for a few hours. They will born and they will live some time and they will die immediately. Few hours only. And within that few hours, the birth, growth, the youth, the decay, everything, and they die. And human being, say 100 years, but we die. So this way it is all going on, each and everything. Now there must be something which is not changing, because of that we are observing all these changes. So that Akshara. Beyond these we cannot say anything. So when the Nachiketa went and he was asking the same question to Yama, that can you please tell me, is there anything that self which never changes? The Yama, what he said? Yes. And in answer he said, Om iti Brahma. What is that Brahma? Om iti Brahma. Now there is a explanation is there, what is this Om and why it is Brahman, etc. Then in another places we find Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. What is Brahman? Sat, Chit and Ananda. The students of Vedanta, they all know these terminologies. Sat means existence, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda, the bliss. So what is that? This way they can say, and it is called, we cannot say it directly. So Arundhati Nyaya, one, Nyaya means fallacy, is used. What is that? Is the name Arundhati. The father wanted to show the star which is Arundhati, and the son was not able to understand that, recognize that. So he started from the river. Where is Arundhati, the star in the sky? Where father said, can you see that river? And on the bank of the river, that palm tree. And on the top of the palm tree, there is a star. And in that, like this, ultimately, it reaches to that particular Arundhati. So this is a process of telling. So in the Vedanta, in the Upanishad, everywhere we find, this is the process. They will go on telling. This is the Sat. Sat means existence. It never changes, constantly there, as it is. So we can have some conception of the permanency. Because we have the conception of the permanency, from that we can, oh, it must be like this, and maybe a little bigger, some conception, the Sat. Knowledge about the jnana. When we were children, we were not knowing many things. As we are growing up, we are understanding so many things. And slowly, some of the people are so intelligent. They are sending the rockets, they are controlling this, they are controlling that, everything. These are unthinkable things are going on. In our ashrama, they have put some cameras, and I can see from this telephone who is entering into and who is doing what. Seeing over here. When I went to the India, from there also I could see what is happening in our shrine. Everything. Who has done it? Human being. And they must be very, very intelligent, naturally. But even that intelligence cannot understand the Brahman. Why? Because it is far beyond that. It's completely different thing. So existence, then the knowledge, then bliss. Sometimes we are so happy. When we find successful, I am everywhere, I am so happy. I am healthy, again I am happy. I am getting everything that I desired, happy. But that happiness also has in the limit. But when you say that God is the source of happiness, the Brahman is nothing but the source of happiness, at least I can gaze, oh, it must be like this. So they say, what is Brahman? Sat. What is Brahman? Chit. What is Brahman? Ananda. But it is not that. Sat, Chit, Ananda is only epithet to understand Brahman. It is beyond that. Unless and until, that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that defilement is impossible for the Brahman. No one can do that. It is not possible that you can speak something or write something or conceive something, have an idea about Brahman. No. When you know Brahman, you become Brahman. Then he gives a story to make it easy for us to understand. What is the story? A doll made of salt went to measure the depth of the ocean. What happened? It never came back. Because the salt doll, when one entered into the water, it melted. The similar way, the great sages, they are going so close to the Brahman and then merging in Brahman. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. They are merging in that. But they cannot come back and to tell us this is this. But they tell us how, indicating in this way the Aksharam Brahma Paramam. That which never changes, that is the imperishable, is the Supreme Being, Supreme Brahman. It dwells in each individual body and is called Adhyatma. This is very interesting. This Brahman is living in every body. In every body it is there. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. Its divinity is there, but potentially it is there in every being. It never separated. That the Hindus and the Muslims and the Buddhists and these and that, no separation. Each and every one is having that. Now the question comes, if it has been divided into so many millions and trillions beings, that means that Brahman is not there. It is exhausted. Then immediately the knower one will say, no. Why? In the Veda we find a 2-line sloka, and it says, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. It is full over there, full over here. And from the full, when you take the full remains, complete remains. This is a different mathematics. No one can, unless and until you realize that Brahman, you won't be able to explain. That is, totality is there. Then how come that, as I was telling, when I see that someone is suffering, I don't suffer as his mother and father or the very close ones are suffering, feeling? This very moment, so many people anxiously waiting in the different places, in different countries, in the hospitals. They are not sleeping in the night. They are not eating properly. They are waiting for the well-being of someone. But we are not. And when you hear, it's okay, get well soon, a card we are sending, that much. How is this? That we are all same, at the same time we are different? How the same Brahman, here the Krishna is telling, what is that Adhyatma? The word Adhyatma means that Brahman, which is imperishable, is present in every being. I repeat, in every being. How come then it is still imperishable? Because the Vedanta says it is not the original one, it is all reflection. In the coming September, I am going to give a retreat on this subject, in search of the infinite. And there in details we will discuss how it is that the infinite, which is also present in the finite, how it is possible, and how we, the finite being, which are all limitation, with all limitation, and trying to understand that which is all pervading, and we are successful in that. How it is possible? So we will discuss that. Here it says, imperishable is the Supreme Brahman. It dwells in each individual body and called Adhyatma. The offering in the service, sacrifice, which causes the genesis and support, is called karma. Karma means, that in a different way they are expressing, it is nothing but the karma. That God, that Supreme Being is reflecting in each and every being. Where it is reflecting? In the buddhi, in our intellect. It's not in the body, not in the mind, not in the prana. but in the intellect. So what is that intellect? It is the combination of the finer part of mind which takes decision, and also the organs of knowledge. What are the organs of knowledge? 5 organs of knowledge. The eye, the nose, the ear, the skin and the tongue. Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva and Tak. These are the 5 organs of knowledge. Why it is organs of knowledge? Because it is collecting information from the objects. When I see something, immediately I bring it back to the mind analyze it and keep it in the store. It goes on this process. And there is a department in the mind which takes the decision. So now, in this country, is the president country. The president is the person who is taking all decision. The house is there. There also, and the other people are also there. They are giving him the advices. Oh, you are going to meet the North Korean leader. So these are the things. Then the people who are analyzing North Korea, studying on North Korea, they are coming and giving him the brief that this is the thing and all. Not that he is studying, but he is taking the decision. Yes or no. Similarly, the eye, the nose, the tongue and all these, they are bringing all information to the mind. Mind is analyzing and finally giving to the buddhi. That particular part of mind which takes decision. You know, then in Vedanta they say, what is mind? Sankalpa, Vikalpa, Atmika, Mana. That part which is dwindling, shall I take and shall I not? That is called Mana. Buddhi, Nishchayatmika Buddhi. That which is taking the decision. Now this knowledge, all they are going to the buddhi, buddhi is taking the decision, and buddhi is reflected by the Atman. And that we say, that is the Jivatma. What is the Jivatma? This. Jiva, Atma. The Jiva means the individual being, but it is also Atman. But what type of Atman? Reflected Atman. It's not the original one. When that Atman, it comes close to, it is reflecting on the body also, mind also, prana also. But the reaction is very less. But when it reflects on the buddhi, and buddhi, it illumines in such a way as if this is that. Because sometimes you will find the secretaries of the governors, secretaries of the presidents, of the administrators, they are as if as powerful as the governor. And they will be telling, what happened to you, come to me, I see that everything there. You need not to meet the governor. There on the table itself your problems are solved. He is taking the decision. But he is not governor. You are going to the office of a governor, meeting someone who has been given some power, and he is, through that power, behaving as if he is taking the decision. He is doing the whole work. You don't meet the governor, but your work is done in the office of the governor. And you think, oh, that man is the governor. No. The same way, our buddhi is taking, as I was telling, sitting over here, they are sending rockets to the moon, to the Mars. Can you imagine the intellect? How they are going on developing? Now, they say in the airports, if you go, previously they used to ask us to sign, and they will check the sign, oh, it is almost. Then many people can forge, that is, they know how to do it. Then afterwards, then fingerprint and this and that. Now, from the eyeball, they are making this eyeball. So you have to go and look at that. In one airport, one lady couldn't understand, and when he was asked to look at the camera, and she was thinking that they are going to take the photo. She was preparing herself to take the good photo. And the man inside, he was shouting, "No, only look at that camera." It went on for some time and we are also enjoying from distance. So, we don't know that camera is not to take the photo but to identify. How? It is already there. In their computer they are seeing you. Your photograph is already there. Now if you are applying the powder and all, it is of no use. So what they are checking? The same way, when we go to the mind, to a person is so wonderful, we think that is God. And that's why when we go to the Jesus Christ, when we go to Buddha, when we go to Krishna, when we go to Ramakrishna, we think this is God. Because the glare of the Brahman is so much. And when sometimes some people, that gentleman was talking with me and he said, after so many days talking with you, he never saw me. I have also not seen him. He only heard my name and somehow got the telephone number and etc. He is telling, after talking with you for 10 minutes, now my mind is free from all agitation. I'm good, thank you. I pray to God. So this what? Am I God? Because we, constantly for so many years, only praying to God, a little more reflection of that Supreme Being in our buddhi. And nothing else. So the Mahan, the great person means what? Spiritual person. What? The more and more and more reflection is more in him. Not this body, but the reflection on the buddhi. And how you'll understand that? The person is full of love and unselfishness. Full of love, and his love, there is no boundary. He loves everyone. So that is the problem. Sometimes some people, they come and they're arguing with me. You are a Hindu, why you are not supporting this cause? I support your cause. But at the same time, I am a monk. I love all beings. So obviously, whom you are branding as other religious people, I love them too. If they come to me, I will love them too. If your enemy comes to me, I will try to serve him too. If you are coming to me, I like you, but still I will serve to all. Why? Because that is the way I am developing my spiritual life, and that is the reason I have gave away all my family bonds. So this is the reason and nothing else. What is the reflection? That depends. Whether you are a good man or bad man, holy man or unholy man, all depends on the reflection. So that's why it says, every holy person had a past, and every sinner has a future. Not that the sinner means condemned. Sinner, he was not trying to understand the reflection of that glory. Now suddenly he started thinking, what is this? Everything will change in him. And more and more and more he thinks on that, and he will become that. So that is called the reflection of the Atman. Where the reflection comes? On buddhi. The buddhi means determinative faculty of the mind. And along with the buddhi, when all these 5 organs of knowledge associate, it becomes jiva. And when we die, what goes away from us? This jiva. And what is that jiva? That buddhi and all the impressions that we collected. Then buddhi, and they say the mind, but that is very subtle. So they leave us. And where they go according to their desire, as they were telling. According to their desire, they will go. And at the time of death you are thinking of God, you will go to that God. At the time of death you are thinking of the Supreme Being, all-pervading One, you are going over there. So we are going to start one beautiful book on Advaita Vedanta, Ashtavakra Samhita. And every Saturday, tomorrow I will go from 11 to 12 in that Lemont Hindu temple. And there we will discuss, it has 20 chapters. So slowly we will see how I can become completely separate from me. I am becoming completely separate from me. It is also possible. So they will be slowly teaching us how it is possible. You are thinking in that way. Now, Adi Bhuta Sharo Bhava, again the same it says, the imperishable is the Supreme Brahman. Its dwelling in each individual body is called Adhyatma. The offering means the action that you take is the karma. And karma is an offering. And the way they are putting it, because karma is action. But each and every action is nothing but the offering to God, the Supreme God. Now, when I am blinking, I am eating, I am thinking, I am walking, I am doing something, each and everything is nothing but karma. And all karma having the effect. Each and every karma having the effect. And that effect will be carried to your intellect, your buddhi. And the buddhi will carry it to next life again. So obviously, if you are doing in such a way that all good actions are accumulated, your buddhi will be completely free from there. I don't want anything. In that way, if you are preparing, then at the time of your death, is complete tabula rasa. Is your no stock, everything is free. And you will naturally go and merge in that Brahman. So if karma is the bondage, the karma is taking, and karma is as if the offering. So you must be very, very careful what you are going to offer to God. And adhibhutam sharo bhava, it says, adhibhutam sharo bhava, purushas-chadi daivatam, adhiyagya abe matra, dehe deha vritambara. It says the perishable adjunct is the adhibhuta. This adhibhuta, which is the different from, it depends on the existence of the self-consciousness. Adhibhuta, that means this body. As I was explaining how it is, because of the reflection. So the body is made of 5 different things. Shiti, apatej, marudvam, and that is coming the body. And it depends on the food. So the Hindus, they say that there are 5 sets. Before you reach to that, there will be 5 sets. And the 5 sets, first is Annamaya Kosha. The covering, first is the food. And then Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Beyond that is that Atman. And what happens? The most of the sannyasins, most of the spiritual practitioners, they go and stuck in the Anandamaya. Because Anandamaya is so on joy, and they forget that this is also a bondage. This is not the ultimate. We have to go beyond that. They forget that one. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, those who have read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, in one story, he is giving in such a, and he gave all these things so simple. Even the children, when they are reading the stories, they understand in their own way. And there was a person who used to go and collect the firewoods. Then one brahmachari who was meditating in the forest, he said, why you are stucking over here? Go inside. The more you go, the more you will find the better and better things. So the story tells that the gentleman went inside and he found very costly, very precious foods. And he was very happy. Then he thought, why I am here? The brahmachari told to move forward. Let me go inside. He found one after another the gold, the jewelries and these and that. So constantly moving means ultimately you will reach. And here it says, Annamaya Kosha, when the body is healthy, I am happy. A healthy body and healthy mind, and naturally they always say. And people are also trying to be healthy, and it's good. But after that what? Whatever may be the healthy body, it is going to perish someday. So after that is the mana, the mind. And if you try to be happy, how to be happy? So you are developing, researching how to be happy. Sometimes some people writing poems, reading poems, listening songs, and they are becoming happy. And nowadays it has become, some of the modern times, every time they go on experimenting, going in a secluded place and meditating. You don't know how to meditate, but simply sitting and looking at the things are meditating. But still, he feels I am happy. He is thinking that he or she is happy, and that way. Superimposing happiness. But what is real happiness? After some time, once again you come back, once again you see that same boss sitting over there frowning at you, and what you are going to do? How many times you will go to the secluded place to be, you have to handle the boss in that way. So this is where constantly you have to understand how it is possible. Here it says that you have to understand, I am the source of happiness. No one can touch me. I am the source of happiness. So the one lady cooked food for me. I liked it. There's some jealousy. So another lady told, oh, you ate that hard cooked food? I mean, yes, it's tasty. You know what she told? She told, the Swamiji eats everything. That means she wanted to make me angry. I told, that is good. She told that? Yes, that is exactly the mothers they like. When the children, they are eating their food, cooked food, and enjoying that food, the mothers, they like it. So maybe that she is telling in that way, hard food I am liking, I am eating completely. So if you take the things positively and can analyze in your own mind, you are not angry. She wanted to make me angry against her, etc. Nothing happened. I am also free, and she is also, I don't know what happened to her, but the other lady was also. So this is the way. It depends on you, how you look at the things and how you analyze. That looks at that. Everything is possible if you think in the positive way. Adibhuta sharo bhava purushas chadidaivatam adi yajna have matra. This our body and everything which is perishable, and that is the adibhuta, and the indweller is the adidaiva. I alone as this adi yajna here in this body. The adi yajna is the presiding deity. Now Hindus are very fond of talking about the yajna, anything the yajna. That if you are reading the whole Gita one day, they will say Gita Jnana Yajna. They will find that some of the Hindu organization, they will give the Gita Jnana Yajna. Yajna means something I am doing to offer to God or to the Supreme Being. So when I am doing my work, where I am giving to my own self, and that Bhagavan said, the God said, the Supreme Being said, I am that. I am the Adhyatya. Keeping in mind that within me the God is residing, and whatever I am doing, not only food, the picture that I am seeing, the smell that I am taking, the things that I am touching, and the words that I am hearing, everything is going to that same God. I have to understand that. I have to understand that I am offering. That's why the Vedantin, before the food, they will say Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagno, Brahmana Hutam, etc. In our schools, in the hostels, the boys they chant without understanding the meaning, but they like it afterwards. When they are grown up, they will say, Swamiji, in our schools we used to do that, let us do that. Even when they're a cup of tea I have offered to him, he said, let us do that, because he liked it. But what is that? I am not eating. The food that I see is not also that I am going to eat. The hand of the spoon that I am going to use to eat, that is also that same thing. So each and everything is the same. And that's why when you are eating, as if you are offering to God. So when you eat food, you must eat very clean way. You should not waste food. Why? That is the offering. This is the prasada. When you are taking food, take as much as you can. So that little food, again if necessary, again you take. But do not waste. Why? Because you are offering it to that God. In this way, if you can do, constantly you are practicing spirituality. There was a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. When he used to, after finishing the food, people won't feel that he has taken the food. The plate used to be so clean. He'll be taking each and everything and a very clean food. Why? Birojanandaji Maharaj. He was a great sage. And he said that I am offering to God. I cannot leave it in this way. So when you are taking the food, anything and everything that you take and somehow, no, you have to take properly which thing should be. That's why if you will find particularly in India, when the mothers, they give the food on a big plate, all things are properly placed. And usually we eat from the right hand. So from the right side, first thing what we are going to eat, then the next, like that they will. And it is so wonderful to see how they have decorated the food. Why? Offering to God. Adi Yajna, I am that. If we remember that actually whatever we are doing, whatever we are eating, whatever we are listening, whatever we are having, everything is nothing but the God. So that offering, constantly if you are thinking what is happening, you are in the company of God. Constantly when you are thinking what is happening, you are meditating on that God. So he said that this body, of course, it will die, but your mind and your intellect, which is reflected by the consciousness, which is collecting all the information means taste, smell, sound, everything, it must be pure. And then what will happen? We will come to the next. That it says, and here also we find in the 7th chapter, the last sloka that he is telling, Esham tvantagatam papam yananam punya karmanam, 28th verse of the 7th chapter. Actually, 8th chapter is the explanation of the 7th chapter. The 7th chapter, when it says Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and lastly it says, those who are free from sin. What is that sin? And moment we think of sin and so many things are coming. No. When you are thinking of this world, that is sin. When you are thinking of the permanent God or the Brahman, that is purity. So that's why the one lady was there at the time of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. She was a great actress. But in those days, actresses, they were not of good characters, of course. They were forced to. So that lady used to constantly think that I am not good character lady and I have done so many things, etc. I should not go and touch the feet of a holy person like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna, but she had a habit of thinking God constantly, crying constantly. Oh God, where you have kept me? And in this place, I am here, my body is here, but at least my mind should be at the feet of God. Please help me. 24 hours, day and night, whatever she is doing, she could make the body and mind separate. Whatever the body is doing, the mind is thinking of God constantly. By that way, she becomes purified. You know what? One day, God Himself went to her place. And when her drama was over, act was over, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna went inside to that room and placed his hand on her head and said, "You are already pure." She said, "Give me consciousness." Then the Bhagavan said, "You are already conscious." Can you imagine? And when a person like Keshav Chandra Sen, he was sick, his mother said, Keshav's mother, "Please bless my son." Sri Ramakrishna said, "I cannot bless. You better pray to Goddess Kali." But here he himself went. Why? Tvantagatam papam. What is that papa? The more and more and more we think about this world, we are disassociate from God. And the more and more we think about the God which is all-pervading in everything, you are pure. And that's why at the time of bathing, eating, sleeping, in the work, wherever and whatever you are doing, in every time, remember God and God and God, and then ultimately a time will come, you will be purified. So remember these. The more you think of God, you are becoming pure. The more you think of these worldly things, you are impure. And how you will leave them? The house, the service, the job, and all this livelihood, how it will continue? Whatever you are doing, think that because God has given me this responsibility, I am performing. The God has asked me to become a doctor, I have become a doctor. Whatever I am doing, it is because of His. I am a driver, I am a carpenter, I am this, I am that. Whatever I am doing, because of Him. Think in this way, and God has made me a householder. I am a householder. I have to look after my wife and children. I have to look after the society. I have to perform the job. And whatever I do is nothing but the service of God. Just think in this way. So, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, your thoughts should be turned towards God, and that's all. Mod firiye dao, in Bengali he said, turn towards God. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are thinking, turn that towards God. That's all. Thank you very much. Let us pray to this, and then next time again we will start with this, because it's a very, very important chapter. You have to understand. Please repeat after me. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasana tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino yasyantam na vidu suragana devaya tasmai namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Friends, you know that we publish this calendar every year and on a theme. And this time it was the 125th year of Swami Vivekananda's the lecture that he delivered in the Parliamentary Religion. So this is the way we publish, and all the quotations and how many days he gave the lecture, what are the lectures, everything, all details you will find over here. You can preserve this calendar along with the pictures. And of course the dates are there. So if you like, you can purchase it. Arup has brought it. And tomorrow, Saturday, I will go to Hindu temple and we will begin the class on Ashtavakra Samhita, and Sunday I will have as usual the Bhagavatam, and this time what is the soul of Bhagavatam? So that we will discuss, and it's the first Sunday, so I am going again in the afternoon to the Hindu temple in Lake County Hindu temple, and that will from 5 to 6. And Monday there will be Shivaratri from 6:30 to 7:30. Tuesday again Panchama Veda. So every day there will be so many programs. And 10th is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Sthiti Puja Sunday. So please come and enjoy this as maximum possible. So constantly will be in the company of the holy. That's good.